Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bays Market District. I'm Simon Pagett, the Head of Urban Transformation for Urban Growth, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of all the presentation material that surrounds this space. Okay? So our broader ambition, right, you would have heard it already from Paul's perspective, but the key from our perspective, right, is the creation of great destinations, right, to drive an internationally competitive economy. We then talk about the objectives. Paul's already been through those, so I'm not going to repeat them. Let's talk about the fish markets. Okay, so you can see the area that we've actually identified there. And it's really awkward when you're actually standing on the stage and you're looking backwards like this, so I apologise. But you can see the area that we've identified, right, and it covers the two wharves that we've actually got down here, which is the concrete batching plant and also the area where we've actually got the harbour cruises, back of house activities. We've got the Sydney fish markets through here. Then we've got the second batching plant up in this neck of the woods, a couple of private land holdings, and then the government land. The reason why we show the whole area is we want people to think more laterally than just thinking about the area associated with the current Sydney fish markets. There is the current Sydney fish markets. Not sure whether everyone's aware. Does everyone know the history? Right, the Sydney fish markets are 20 years into a 50-year lease. Right? The facility that they're in at the moment was the old Fairfax printing facility, which the Sydney fish markets have adaptively reused, right, and converted into a wholesale and retail facility. And that's what you see from the waterfront at this point in time. Right, the reason why this is a great slide up here now is this car park. Right, so you can see the Sydney fish markets through that area there. Right, you've got retail surrounding the car park. The car park is shared between members of the public. Right, it gets 2 million visitors a year. 20% of those are tourists. They come from overseas. Right, we get all the semi-trailers coming in to load up the wholesaling activities. We get the fish coming off the fishing fleet, right, into the wholesaling area. About 5% of the fish that are actually sold at the Sydney Fish Market actually come from the fleet that's at the front door. The rest of it comes via planes and trucks. Right? And you've got forklifts running through that area, you've got minivans running through that area, and on special days like Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and other celebrations during the year, traffic is bedlam in that particular area. So that's what we've got. We've got concrete batching plant, we've got cruise operator, we've got the Sydney fish markets. What could we do with that particular area which would make it a much broader offering, which could enhance the value of the area from the point of view of fresh produce, some dining facilities, all those type of possibilities could be thought of as a fresh market produce area. So if I actually look at what we've got there at the moment, you can see some of the impediments. We've got this beautiful park area and beautiful Moreton Bay figs that are through there. But anyone that drives along Bridge Street, they do not get the opportunity to really see the waterfront or connect with the waterfront. So what are the possibilities to be able to strengthen the connection between the park and the water? How could we take some of the facilities that we've got surrounding this area and maybe relocate them into areas that are more suited to those type of facilities, okay? But still maintain that strong connectivity to the water. All this that we're talking about needs to be supported by transport solutions. Right, so before we actually come up with answers on what things look like, we need to be able to think about what can we do with the transport problems that exist today how can we enhance the transport that's there today to enable us to be able to support the growth into the future. If you then think about the potential mix of uses that could be there, what we could do is the primary focus needs to be the public realm. So when you're actually talking about a market district, you're talking about an area that gives people the opportunity to go do broader fresh produce shopping. Certainly the Sydney fish market activities and the seafood would be the backbone of what we're actually providing, but potentially broaden the dining offering into a much deeper reach from the point of view of cafes, restaurants, etc. Okay? And that all contributes to the public realm, and the importance of potentially Wentworth Park starts to come into play. How could you actually better connect to the green space of Wentworth Park to a broader produce market district? Okay? Employment. The drivers from our point of view of a market district are all about the employment. The opportunities that we actually see there are to do with the market district, but to do with other associated uses that will be supportive of the market district. And housing. For those that aren't aware, the Sydney Fish Markets are an organisation that produce an annual report. They don't make a huge amount of money with the activities that they actually do down there. What they actually do to the Sydney economy is support a significant amount of tourism activity. So it is the third most popular fish markets in the world. It's iconic for Sydney, and it's connected very strongly to the city. So the opportunities that they will have to actually undertake the development is the will for that to occur. The opportunities from the point of view of the government, we've got to find ways to be able to help us create a new retail and wholesaling set of activities, deliver that in a very authentic way, a way that actually demonstrates its connectivity to the water, a way in which it respects all the fantastic attributes that the Sydney Fish Market currently has. And a way of potentially funding that is to introduce some housing. So where would you put the housing? Maybe on some of the existing Sydney Fish Market sites. These are possibilities that have a ranking and rating. So the idea is to prioritise where we could actually put public realm and employment as the major priorities with regard to the destination called the Bays Market District, and then support that with a housing solution. Sorry about the pause. So, broader market offering. I'll just flick through these. Dining offering. And this last slide is all about demonstrating the connectivity to the city. There's the Sydney Fish Markets through here. The great thing about the Sydney Fish Markets is that we have the CEO of the Sydney Fish Markets here today. They're willing and able to get going. We think we've got some wonderful opportunities. What I'm really keen to hear from is all of you. I've sat through 2 or 3 of these presentations so far over the last 24 hours, and we've had some wonderful suggestions that have actually come up with regard to what we could do with things like Bridge Street, where we could put housing, where we could put the markets, how we could better solve the transport solutions. There have been great suggestions that we've actually asked and have been put within our suggestions board there. So at the end of this presentation, there are a number of people walking around with orange caps on. They'll be located at both the talking tables. Please take the opportunity to be able to go see them and ask them any questions that you may or may not have. I'll be in the front here, and I'm happy to take questions. Thank you.